Drew Law is a hip-hop artist who has opened for such superstars as Method Man, Pitbull, and Dougie Fresh. Drew is also a poet in Washington, D.C., where he has been a member of the 2011 Beltway Slam team that finished in the top 8 in the country. He has worked with at-risk youth and persons with disabilities for several years and holds a deep love for entertaining and community outreach. Now, what's not on here is that he's also the host of Graffiti DC. It's an event that takes place every third Wednesday of the month. I'm telling you, I've had an opportunity to attend this event in DC. You should go. It's tons of great energy. Everyone is really excited to be there, and the performances are amazing. So when he gets on stage and he shares his story with you, just know that you'll see tons of artists performing like this when you go to Graffiti DC. Everyone, please give it up for Drew Law, everybody.
How's everybody doing today? Yeah? Alright, so this is, I don't know, have you guys already heard some poetry, yeah? Yeah. Okay, so when I like to do my poetry, it's this cliche thing that everyone talks about, snapping, right? I tend to like snapping. Like, it's just a cool thing. Like, if you're like, woo, there's a couple of things that people like to do. And I'm going to go through the list. The first thing is the snaps. Can I hear you guys snap? Alright, yeah, snapping is cool. Also, there's the Jesus with an S. Have you ever heard it? Jesus! So, if you hear something that you like, you can do one of those things. I'm just saying. And there's one that I don't usually do because I'm a white guy, but you guys can do it. Even if you're a white guy, you can do it. It's I know that's right. So any of those things is totally cool. So I just do that so you guys can like laugh and we can enjoy this thing. I'm kind of one of those people that when I perform, I just kind of like zone. So if you see me like close my eyes and spit and all kind of other stuff, that it normally happens. So don't, don't call anybody. If I collapse, please do call the police. But I just first let me just say I want to thank Raven so much for allowing us to come through and bless you guys. And please give him a round of applause. Ever since I met him, he's just been all love and all peace, and that's kind of what poetry is about. Okay, since y'all kind of tilted this way, I'm gonna just stay on this side. But that doesn't mean you guys to left. I'm not forgetting about you. I love you guys on that side. So I was kind of thinking, like, I would dedicate this kind of to the women. You know what I'm saying, in the audience. And there's a couple of things. There's a couple of things about that, and I don't know how raunchy you guys got. I'm not going to get raunchy at all. I didn't come here. I do, but not tonight. But there is kind of a kind of poet that I don't like, and they're called vagina whisperers. I don't know if you have ever heard of that. But let me explain what that is. A vagina whisperer is somebody who does poetry purely for the fact to get women, and they can be girls too, you know what I'm saying? And usually what's going to happen in their poem is they're going to say something about how you're a goddess, and then they're going to talk about how, I know how that other guy treated you badly, I'm not that guy. I am a much better guy who won't do that. But then they'll like slip in the fact that they're like pretty good in bed, you know what I'm saying, this will entice you. This poem, it's a little bit like that, but wait, you have to understand that I wrote it for a very specific girl. Like, I wrote it specifically for her to spit to her. And the day that I finished it, I was really excited to spit it to her. And I was like, yo, in 2 weeks, I'm going to spit it at my big feature that I had at this place called Spit That, which I'm absolutely in love with. And it was my first ever feature. And I was like, I'm gonna spit this poem for you. And like 2 weeks before that happened, she broke up with me. So I really never technically got to read it for her, but this is the poem. And it goes like this. These are a few things that I want to do. I want to take the trash out in the snow for you. I want to rip the DVD you want to watch from the red box, even though I've already seen it and it's really not that good, but I don't want to ruin it for you. I want to cook for you. And so every single thing I make is as good, if not better, than your mom's. I want to write a term paper about you. And not because I want you to read it when I'm done. I just can't wait to do the research. I want to make a boyfriend suggestion box for you. Anonymous, of course. See, when I'm under duress, you relieve my stress, and you can do the best, and you can have my heart, or we can share it like the last Cheddar Bay biscuit. And she asked me to stop smoking cigarettes, and it really wasn't a problem. See, she controls my vices. She's kind of like my vice president. See, I love her, and I know she can tell. I'm just biding time before I make her my Michelle. Now, baby, I don't just want to elect you. I don't just love and accept you. My favorite pastime is counting the seconds since I've met you. So these are a few things I want to do for you. I want to hit the snooze for you. See, I'm an early bird, so I'm going to wake up and cook you something to eat, get you out of bed, just put you right back to sleep. You see, this love is not a fad. She is on my mind all the time, a male version of my hijab, a little look into divinity, the only real woman in this trinity, my trinity. So these are a few things that I want to do for you. I want to kiss you so much that when you go to work the next day, the person that you're standing next to thinks you got hit with a Cupid's arrow flesh wound. I want to invest in a bedroom with enough headroom so kings can come with their crowns and obsess and obsess the higher existence is nothing less than a miracle winner in dead June. Her body is so sick that if you were to stand next to her movements when she steps through, you will have the urge to say, bless you. I'm so far in love with this woman, to get me out, you'll need like 30 scientists from Ivy League schools with the finest 93 tools. A lighter than air parachute, a pair of shoes with 10,000 gallons of rocket fuel, and a rocket too, a place so far to see you would need 15 telescopes with infinite optic zoom, and I'd still probably find a way to get back to you. I want to whisper sweet everything in your ear. And I promise never to leave you, like people after the feature. Because you're my feature every night, and you never disappoint. See, I don't think my vocabulary or vernacular can properly explain how I feel about you. Like, I don't think the term sex is a strong enough urge. And the only reason I didn't say I didn't love you before is because I didn't feel like love was a strong enough word. I want to be everything you need in life. And I remember you told me you had confused feelings like you might have been bi, and the depression made you feel like your soul was gone. Well, baby, this Santa Claus doesn't care which pole you're on. Hey now, I'm not with her. I have to listen to Bill Withers. Because when I'm not, I tend to wither. She is so beautiful. It has absolutely nothing to do with sex. I don't have to be into her to be into her. Money costs clothes. See, I put nothing above her. Because the only time it's not tricking is if you love her. And I can say some corny stuff like, she turns the sky blue. But the deeper thing is, she kind of do. I don't know how you were an angel. I guess that day heaven didn't have the right kind of scout. I want to hold you until the earth collapses, till the sun blots out, through 1 million hurricanes, 100,000 droughts. I want to hold you until God clocks out. Then I want to look about you. Not just this poem. I want to write my entire book about you. I hope Anthony Hamilton and Music Soul Child write books about you. She makes me feel on top of the world when I'd rather be 6 feet under it. She's my conduit. And when I'm a little too cocky, she's my humble pie. She loves me unconditionally. And I'm not exactly sure why. So these are a few things I want to do for you. I want to drive 45 minutes from work just to kill the spider in the room. I want to sail the ocean, cross the desert, and crash the White House with you. I want to take our kids to school one day. I want to wake up next to you every single day for the rest of my life. This poem is a thank you for crying with me, for putting up with me, and one of the many, many things that I want to do for you. So I have like 2 short poems next, and they're very like serious poems. Like they're not like, it's like, oh wow, that's horrible. But just before I do that, I had this joke, right? And a poet by the name of Sheehan told me this joke. And I would like to share that joke with you guys, and then I'm going to do 2 straight poems, and I'm going to get off this stage. Okay, so what's this right here? What's this?
What is it?
Reptar!
Okay, one more time. Reptar? No. Close. What's this? What's this right here?
A dog.
No. Okay, this right here, this is terrorists. Terrorists. Yeah? Feel free to use that one.
Tomato.
But on a serious note, this poem. Okay. That's so. Why did I do that segue? That was horrible. Alright, so this next poem I wrote for this girl on her birthday. And it was really bad because we had a really bad kind of. Well, we never really together, but we were like good friends. And you know how that weird mix of friends, and then you have like you cross over friends, and it's always weird. You know what I mean? We never really found the right kind of medium. And I wrote this poem, and when I wrote it, I didn't, I didn't read it again for like 3 or 4 months, and I read it again, and I kind of went over it and like refurbished it. You guys ever refurbish a poem? You know what I mean? And I kind of put in all the kind of situations and the microcosm that I feel like women have to deal with, without making like, sometimes when you do poems about women, like you have to make them a victim, or you have to make it about love. And this is what I try not to do, make someone a victim or have it be about love. It's called Cloud Bubbles, and this is it right here. So I know this girl that cries, but not because she's been hurt or she's been beaten down. I mean, she has, but she don't cry for that. It may sound strange, but she cries because, well, her mom said she can't sleep on clouds. But she doesn't want to go upward, only skyward. She's already in space, just wants someone to bring her back down to earth, but not to the surface. I mean, she hates it there. Doesn't want to be grounded, just wants to sleep on something as soft as a spot in her heart for her father. But just like that cloud, it never really stays around long enough for her to remember. So, she's been dreaming about being a kite. Now, she's allowed them at times to grab a hold of her string and to fly her and to guide her, but really just needs another wandering kite beside her. Doesn't need any more sex inside her. Doesn't need you to be her everything. Just a small breath to revive her. Doesn't need to be changed. Maybe someone to revise her. She would make you believe she's an open book. It's only a cover. So her cover cannot be judged. She covers herself in truths, rapidly firing candor like a cancer, so you won't beg a query, ask her no questions, she will tell you no lies. She couldn't anyway, but God, you gotta watch her eyes. They're begging to talk like a 7th grader in the classroom with a teacher she has a crush on. Pick me. But her words go unheard. She's running through this world, screaming her ass off, tripping on silence, just to fall on deaf ears. She's about to explode like a volcano in a dollhouse she never cared about. She played house as a kid. She says, you know how children like to play make-believe. Why can't you find someone that makes her want to stay, want to pray? She's really starting not to care. She was told she could walk on water, but traded it in for hovering over puddles because she doesn't like getting her feet wet. She wrote she'd be famous on the walls of the bathroom. Just to let you know, don't do her any favors, because if she dropped knowledge right here, to turn this place into a crater, doesn't need a hand on her shoulder to relieve her, just a stage and a room full of believers. Stop telling her to grow up and live in reality. She's already grown, and as real as they come, a beautiful enigma, a chess piece on a checkerboard, a violet horizon, a cerulean sunset, free will wrapped in notebook paper, but nobody notices stuff like that. So she just does poems, but she's another pretty face, and how no one will ever see her but that. And I wanted to tell her that I fell in love with her through her poetry, and I only listen to you with my eyes closed, but I never could. Because I know how you hate it when people pull your head from the clouds. And I see why you walk like a breeze, because it doesn't seem like the wind is bothered by earthquakes. So every time she has a problem, she just keeps it moving. And she don't like people. They just act too human. Guys are so sweet in the beginning. They never stay that way. At least not the interesting ones. She wonders why that is. So she doesn't want one. Just a kite. Fly next to her without tangling or straining, but keep her warm and watch her as she sleeps on clouds.